What's up, squad? I'm
Caitlin,
Allie.
and Disney has ruined yet another childhood classic.
As you can probably tell, we are huge fans of the Artemis Fowl book series by Owen Colfer. We read all the books as kids/teens. It's actually Caitlin's favourite book series.
Literally my favourite, more than Harry Potter.
More than Harry Potter?
Yeah. So when Disney announced that they were finally making an Artemis Fowl movie after like 20 years, it's been in the works for like 20 years, we were pretty excited because we were like, it's Disney, what could go wrong?
But then we saw the trailer and it was clear, even just from a like 1.5 minute trailer, that they were not going to be staying accurate to the books. They were telling a completely different story. So when the movie actually came out, we had very low expectations because by that point we knew it wasn't going to be the Artemis Fowl story that we knew about.
Before we get started, we just want to put it out there. We are going to be making a lot of comparisons between the book and the movie, but honestly, if you haven't read the books, you probably still won't like this movie because it's just a bad movie. We're also not going to be picking apart the performance by the child actors because they're literally children, and I don't really think we need to tease children here.
Yeah, that's not really what we want to do on this channel, is to bully children. So their performances aside, there's still plenty to talk about.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Get ready to suffer.
The movie opens with Josh Gad being introduced as the narrator, so just get ready to sit through that for the entire movie. We also get some sweet shots of Artemis surfing, obviously, the thing that Ireland is known for. You know, when I read Artemis Fowl, I always thought to myself, like, wow, you know, Artemis Fowl, he's the pinnacle of athleticism and fitness. That's what he's known for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like when he wasn't making patents and writing academic journals, he was hitting that sweet surf. That sweet island surf.
Yep.
And you know, when you're that unusual, you're gonna stick out.
Do you see how those books were arranged?
Why are they laid out like that?
No, I don't, like, perfectly, and then there's like a ruler next to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta make sure that your books aren't gaining length as they sit on your desk in perfect order.
He's like laid them out specifically just before Artemis came in because he's like, I read books.
Yeah. I've read this book about the amygdala.
Well, firstly, there's your dear mother, of course.
I'm assuming they're about to talk about, you know, the fact that, like, his mum in the books is severely depressed.
You know, she's either in bed or she's imagining that her husband is home. Because in the book, Artemis's dad is missing.
Yeah. You know, you can tell it's, like, really hard for Artemis to, like, take, so, like, that would make sense.
Who was a wonderful woman, in my opinion, and taken from us far too soon. But who sadly had absolutely no control over your behavior.
What?
What?
They killed her off.
In the first, like, 10 minutes.
Why would they? She was an important part. Hang on. There's a bit later on in the book that now won't work because she's not in.
There's a lot of things that won't work. They literally shit on her parenting skills as well.
That's like, why? Why?
It's like, yes, she could never control you. She was a bad mother. Rip. They just love to kill off the mother.
They really do. I feel like there's like a message in there somewhere. I don't know. Let's keep watching the movie.
Yeah, sure.
Artemis? Look, just who do you think you are?
Left the keys in the door there.
Interesting. Interesting. Leaving the keys in a door at a school. Really strange. Very secure.
Very.
Very secure.
But of course, Artemis wasn't on his own, even if it may have seemed that way sometimes.
So far we've had 2 shots that kind of establish Artemis as this like athletic kid,
Yeah.
surfing, and now with the skateboarding. And I just want to know why that choice was made when everything we know about his character from the books shows us the complete opposite of that.
He's the kind of person who, if someone like gently throws him something, he'll drop it. I'm pretty sure he like trips over his own feet sometimes.
It was nice wire work. Did you see that with that like whatever that, I don't know skateboarding terms.
Kickflip.
It's not a. I don't think it is. And what is that, by the way? It wasn't quite futuristic. It wasn't like a whole board.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like a weird board with like a round thing in the middle.
It's like the way that they're trying to tell us that he's really smart is that he makes things, but at no point do they say like, he made this thing and it's better than an actual thing. It's just this weird thing that he rides. It's
Yeah.
like, did he make it? Did his dad make it? Did he buy it? Like, where did it come from?
Everything is just so unclear in this movie. They don't explain the things that they should, and then they over-explain the things they don't need to. Like with all this Josh Gad like continuously talking like over the top of what's happening. But then don't explain simple things.
We're then introduced to Artemis Fowl Sr., who is, you guessed it, Artemis's dad. Fowl Sr. movie version is a very selfless, loving dad who clearly cares very deeply about his son and really wants to protect him at all costs. Fowl Sr. in the book is literally a criminal mastermind who is never home and doesn't care about anything other than gold. Same thing, right?
What do you mean he never arrived? Have you checked the manifest? How long before the media have it?
I think I have those contacts.
I think you do. Looks real natural.
Yeah.
Good job, Disney.
Domovoy Butler, friend, mentor, bodyguard. 10 years of martial arts training in Kyoto, 7 years of weapons training in Moscow, 6 years of strength training at Gold's Gym in Venice, California. Oh, and under no circumstances were you to ever call him the Butler, even though his last name was in fact Butler. You could call him Dom or Domovoy.
You never call him Dom or Domovoy. That up until this point, I mean, I was mad about Angeline, but now that's probably the most incorrect thing they've said this whole time. They've literally told us the opposite of what is actually the actual truth here. You don't call him by his first name. We find out Butler's first name in the third book at a moment when he's about to die. The last thing he says to Artemis is, my name is Domovoy, and it's like such an emotional scene.
Yeah, it's such a huge thing.
And they've...
Also, how does Mulch know all of this?
Wait, what?
He met them like yesterday. And Butler's had enough time to sit him down and be like, I did this many years of this training, and this many years of this training, and I did this and this and this, and my name is Dom.
You can call me Dom or Domovoy, but not Butler. What? I don't know what's going on.
Authorities today launched a worldwide manhunt for Artemis Fowl, a reclusive businessman but now a controversial public figure whose super yacht, the Owl Star,
Drop the milk. Drop the milk.
and aboard the Owl Star and their owner's faces in
He's totally gonna drop the milk.
He's absolutely going to drop that milk. My dad.
Yay! He dropped the milk! Dropped it! He dropped the milk! My dad.
Artemis, turn up to the phone! Artemis!
Hello? Dad?
They got one phone in this whole mansion.
It's a massive place.
Yeah.
One phone.
Imagine if you were on the opposite side of the house and the phone started ringing. I wouldn't even bother. I'd be like, let it ring out.
Yeah, just...
I'm not getting that.
No way. So now that his dad is gone, Artemis is allowed in his dad's room. Butler shows him a bunch of stuff, including these vials of water, which never come up again, by the way, even though we focus on them for way too long.
Was the prop department so lazy that they couldn't have just put like a few drops of food coloring in just a few of them? So it didn't look like he just pulled the shelf out and was like, look at all these bottles of water.
May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rains fall soft upon your fields. It's known as the Irish blessing. It's a journal.
What is happening? How does the poem relate to what Artemis is doing? I feel like he recites it and then opens up drawers like at random.
We've watched this specific part of this scene probably about 5 times now.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out what is going on, and I honestly just have no idea. He looks at a drawer that says Irish poetry, but then he looks at one 4 rows across and like 3 shelves down.
Yeah.
I'm like, but
It had nothing to do with the words he was saying.
no.
This movie makes me feel so stupid.
Haven. Secret city filled with child police officers and badly explained storylines.
We also finally get to meet Holly Short, who is the biggest badass police officer in the books, but in the movie, she's now been reduced to the daughter of a man who was important.
Keep an eye out, brothers. We dwarves gotta watch each other's backs, am I right? Lay low. I'll get us out of here.
You're not a dwarf.
No, I am. I'm a dwarf.
No, you're not.
I am a giant dwarf.
Why did they not just get an actor who was the appropriate height? Or at the very least, like, make Josh Gad smaller with CGI. Mulch Diggums is meant to be a dwarf. His height is never specified, but he does mention that when he's in the human world, he gets noticed because he's so short. But in this, they're like, giant dwarf.
Then we have this super confusing scene where this man speaks with a hooded figure who's very hard to understand because they've altered their voice so much.
Brian Catchin.
And really all that happens here is we're told by the hooded figure that this man is Lieutenant Cudgeon and that they'll get Cudgeon out of prison if he then works for them. We're not told why he's in prison or how the mysterious person will get him out of prison, but next scene, there he is, back in the Leprechaun. Leprechaun!
Knock it off!
Look, we love our Dame Judi Dench, but they've literally completely ruined Holly's backstory by making Commander Root a female. She's meant to be the first female officer in the Leprechaun. But as we said before, her claim to fame now is that she's the daughter of a man who did something, like, we still don't know what he did. The storytelling is garbage.
We then go back to the surface because a troll has managed to make its way to the human world and it's Holly's job to get it. This scene is so terrible, which really sucks because in the book, it's this epic fight where Holly uses her knowledge from Leprechaun training and stays calm while she fights this troll. But in the movie, she spends the whole time screaming and flying around and not even fighting the troll. Oh wait, sorry. She does one thing, which is use her magic to heal a child who is just unconscious, while adults get thrown into tables and flung into the air behind her. Nice.
They managed to freeze time where the troll is, don't ask, so the fairies can get in there to mind wipe the 30-odd humans who saw both the troll and Holly. In the book, this is a huge deal because mind wiping is actually a really difficult thing to do. But in the movie, it's somehow no big deal. They whip around using Men in Black style gadgets, mind wiping every single person. But then they leave without fixing anything. So all these people wake up to a huge mess that wasn't there before, and this dude literally falls out of the sky. And then they carry the troll off in full view of everyone. Good job.
Domovoy, anything to report from the Hill of Tara?
Yes, I'm freezing.
Understood.
Ah, the perfect camouflage. Standing next to a tree in a ghillie suit with your one suit sleeve and very bright watch in full display.
Gotta show off my Rolex.
I make a lot of money.
Reload! Quick! Quick! Fire! We got one.
Did you see how far she fell?
She's dead.
Oh my god.
She's hardcore dead.
Not happy.
Seems like a totally normal way to wake up in a unusual situation. I mean, every time I have to wake up and realize that it's a school day and I have to go to school, I always shout, not happy,
Yeah,
when
know.
I wake up.
I know.
Yeah.
My room's next to yours.
Yeah. Sorry.
She also just kind of continues to shout throughout her conversation with Artemis, like a child, which, you know, she is.
And then Artemis slams that little door shut, which is pretty useless considering the cage is made of wire. And then she opens it again for no reason. And then she magically makes her voice not line up with her mouth.
Whatever you're planning will fail. Fairies do not negotiate.
I wonder how she did that.
So the fairies decide to set up another time freeze, this time around Foul Manor. And within 10 minutes, Artemis frees Holly and decides to team up with her. This scene is so confusing that it literally sounds like they've taken out some of the dialogue, like they've edited it and cut out bits of conversation, and that's why it doesn't make sense. We watched this scene so many times to try and figure out what it meant, and we still can't.
Basically, Holly was kidnapped by Artemis like half an hour ago, but now she's completely happy to help him do something. Again, not sure what. They're gonna do something as a team.
50 years off my sentence just isn't gonna cut it here.
I know what you want. I can't give you that.
Oh, come on, Root. Please. I just want to be small. I just want to be normal like the rest of my kind. To be accepted. You fairies got magic coming out of your ears. What have I got? 3, 4 feet I don't need?
Mulch genuinely begs Root to turn him into a regular size dwarf with magic. Do you know what they could have done instead of having a giant dwarf? Hire a smaller actor.
Yeah. Real simple solution,
Wow.
Disney.
Whoa!
Look, a giant dwarf is exactly what I need right now.
No, you probably could have done this with a regular sized dwarf. They probably would have been a little bit more stealthy. Does this look stealthy?
Not even a little bit. Looks very loud.
Everybody, stand back.
It's feeding time.
No! Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god! Do you know what's worse? Imagine seeing this movie and not understanding that that is something that the dwarves can do. At the very least, when it was clear that that was what he was gonna do, I was able to kind of at least slightly ready myself for it. Imagine you're a child, a literal child, again, which is what this movie, that's who this movie is marketed towards, who's never read the books, and all of a sudden he's, oh my gosh, the way
ripping
he
his mouth open.
pulled it open,
Nightmare fuel.
We have a visitor.
What is it?
It's in the portrait gallery. It's like a really, really big dwarf.
He looks like a regular person. Like, it would have been more accurate for him to say, it looks like there's a homeless person in the portrait gallery.
Yeah.
Also, portrait gallery.
Yeah. One phone in the whole mansion, but a room dedicated to portraits of like old, I don't know, foul people.
So Mulch finds a safe that has the Aculos inside, and of course, it's an acorn. That really only makes sense if you've read the books, because the movie doesn't actually explain the importance of the acorn. And then Holly and Artemis appear out of nowhere, and look, we've got the whole team! Team high five!
Are you ready? We've got a second troll fight. This troll fight is about as exciting as the last one. To summarize, Holly immediately gets stuck and is no help for the whole time. Artemis and Juliet run around screaming, and Butler falls onto a bull-shaped couch 3 times. Also, why do they have a bull-shaped couch? Oh, it's just so that they can jam the horns into the troll's back later. Gotcha.
In the end, the troll ends up either being killed or just trapped by the chandelier falling on him. It's honestly kind of unclear if it's dead or not. The troll lands on Butler, and apparently he's dying now, even though he's sitting completely upright in a chair with no sign of blood on him. What is he dying of? He looks pretty okay to me. But it's okay. He's dead for about 5 seconds, and then Holly brings him back to life. Probably one of the most rushed scenes in the entire movie.
It's okay. We're nearly there.
for your own sakes, get out of there now and get home safe. This time freeze is gonna blow.
The time freeze is literally falling apart around these fairies, which is made out to be a real dangerous thing. But it turns out that if they get sucked up into it, they just get dropped somewhere else on the Fowl Manor property. So that's fine.
Are we friends, Artemis Fowl?
We are. Forever friends.
Yep. Cool. Best friends forever. He kidnapped her and drugged her, but they're best mates.
Time to use the Aculos. We're gonna bring Artemis Senior back and lose a bunch of frames while doing it.
Looks like that bad slow-mo in the pirating ads you used to see before every single DVD. You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't use the Aculos.
So the movie basically ends with Artemis getting his dad back, then claiming to be a criminal mastermind when all he's done is drop milk and stand next to a helicopter. He has committed exactly 0 criminal acts throughout the entire movie, except maybe kidnapping Holly, but she seems fine with that.
Also, Mulch has now told the human who arrested him all about the fairies. So I guess we're not keeping that a secret then.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Like this video purely for the fact that we had to watch that dumpster fire of a movie 3 times to make it.
You're welcome.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn notifications on so you know when we make another video. Love you, bye!
Bye.